What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the channel. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. That would be amazing, and hitting that thumbs up button too. The last video did really well, and I just want to say thank you to everybody that commented, liked, watched, shared, all of the above. It was absolutely amazing. Now, if you didn't see that previous video, the link is in the description. I've actually put a playlist together of all the kind of tactics and formations and stuff that we've been using over the last 6 or 7 months. So they're all in there if you want to go back over it. Now, the formation we're going to be using this weekend league and this weekend is kind of forced upon me, and I'll explain why it's forced upon me. But oh boy, was I so happy it was forced upon me. So as you can see, we're in the middle of doing honourable mentions. Diego Luna, build your TOTS evolution as well. So that's the Russian Saudi League supremacy. So we're in the middle of doing that, as you can see at the minute, with 4 wins away from completing that. So we can build our own TOTS player. We haven't decided how we're going to use that yet. I will show you at the end of the video what I decided to do here. So it says win 7 matches in squad battles or rivals or champions while having 6 Russian Saudi League players in your starting 11. Now, that is where I am talking about it kind of forced my hand a little bit. So I didn't want to go out and buy particular players or anything like that. I wanted to use the players that were in my club. So that is exactly what we did. So I'd already evoed Ivan Toney. What a card he is. I evoed him to a 93. I'd already evoed Cristiano Ronaldo. So I had these two anyway. I had kind of Ruben Neves kind of kicking around in the club, not doing much. I packed Milinkovic Savic, but he is a cheap card, but I packed him anyway. And I also packed Marcus Leonardo, and I forget this guy's name, Al Salem. Also packed him as well. So there's my 6 Russian players. And because of their positioning, and they're very limited, so like striker cam, give you an example, striker only, striker left wing, striker cam. So I was kind of limited on how I could put these in a formation and kind of make it work along with the chemistry. Now the 4-2-2 was perfect. It was absolutely perfect. I did have to add a couple of icons in there just to boost the chemistry up. But that is what I was saying about it's kind of forced my hand into the 4-2-2 formation. Now, it is a very aggressive formation because I just want to get this out of the way. I want to get it done pretty quick. So we're using 4-2-2, balanced and aggressive 95. Now, I advise you to watch the gameplay that I'm going to put in now before we come back and show you the player roles, because the player roles are going to be totally like different to what you're used to, and there's a reason behind why I've set it up the way I've set it up, and it is purely for goals. So if you want to score a lot of goals and you're not too concerned about who you have in your defence, and you're toying with the idea of, oh, I've got this player, but he won't fit in this system, so I've got to change my systems, then this is the perfect one for you. So stay tuned. Let me drop in that gameplay, have a watch, see how it plays, and you are going to be astonished at how many goals I scored in a very limited space of time. Now, this first clip I'm going to show you doesn't really do justice to what I'm trying to show you guys, because this formation works best against highly aggressive, high line, your high press type of opponent. And I will show you as the further along we go with these gameplay clips. So this game here was a little bit, it was probably my hardest game because it took us until like the 59th minute to score the first goal. We had to make a few substitutions to bring on some slightly better players. However, once you get the first goal and your opponent starts to play out a little bit more, there's a lot more space to kind of exploit and go from there. And obviously this type of formation that my opponent was using was a very narrow formation. So you can use the 4-2-2 as a wide formation or as a narrow formation. That is up to you. But the front 4, the 2 cams and the 2 strikers, there's no excuse to kind of not have any passing options in that part of the field, because it is that they're there. They make triangles, they make boxes. You've always got a passing option, which is what I like about the way this is set up. The 2 DMs are kind of static. They just tend to hover around the halfway line, which isn't a problem to me because a lot of users are still using the 4-2-1-3, so you're kind of playing with that type of scenario anyway, which is pretty cool. So you can always match those type of formations, so you don't have to worry about that. But the second gameplay clip I'm going to show you right here, this is where it gets interesting. So the next 2 opponents are very aggressive. They are probably trying to get through rivals as quickly as possible, so therefore they are probably using 100 depth team press constantly, using the double press, the double man mark. They're using everything to their advantage, and this is where this formation kind of allows you to exploit that in terms of passing options. So you can see here he's already committed. He's got that many players up the field. It's a 2v1 scenario here. We kind of don't get the pass out, but look at the two DMs that I was talking about on the left hand side of the screen. They're not going to move from that position, so even if you lose the ball in this position here, those will still protect the defensive line, so you haven't got to worry about losing the ball if you're too high up the pitch. And again here you can see, this is what I'm talking about. You can see he's squeezed me back, he's tried to push me back as far as he possibly can. It's not working, he's high up the pitch, a few passes, we're in his own half, and then from here, yeah, you just get the little passing going. And that run from that cam there is what I'm talking about. That cam is the most important cam that you're going to have with this setup, so you need to stay tuned to watch how I've set this up to see how that cam performs, because he is going to be the guy that's going to be the late runner into the box. He is going to be the one that is ultimately going to get you, or get the AI out of position, and that is what you want. And then you can see there we conceded a goal. It's the only goal we did concede for our entire run with this formation and getting those 7 games played. And we're 4-1 up. This team was probably the best team I come up against on the day. The Hullits, the Ronaldos, the Mbappes, it was crazy. But again, from here you can see he's trying to do the double man press. We get away from that, ball out to the wing. They're all coming to the ball for short passing, although we've not got it set up for short passing. But you can kind of see where I'm going with this formation, and this allows you to pass the ball around with so much comfort and so much ease. There's so many people that want the ball, and if you use that call to the ball as well, that makes a massive difference. And then from here you can see we've got 1, 2, 3 in the box. As I say, you've got your DM sitting outside of the box, now your other DM's getting back into position, and then boom, there's that cam again. That cam is extremely important. So I will repeat, you need to make sure you see how I've got that set up, because that is going to be the most important position on the pitch. And then we come to another gameplay clip as well, and you can see another highly aggressive double teaming type of opponent. And then yeah, we get that very early goal with Ivan Toney. That it was a great card. If you didn't Evo Toney, I'm not sure why. I know he's very limited in what he can and can't do on the pitch, but it's such a good goal scorer for me. And then yeah, from here Hullet loses the ball. We win it back quite high up the pitch. You can see there's your runner. Nice lobbed goal from Ronaldo, and 2-0. And we conceded 1 goal so far. Just 1 goal using this setup and using these players that I don't know much about as well, which makes a massive difference, because I don't know if they're left-footed, right-footed, or anything. So let's move on. More and more game clips. I might as well show you that all the goals we scored in all 7 games that we played, because it it was so good. I mean, again, I can't repeat myself. We only conceded maybe 3-4 goals with this setup and the way it was going, and there we go, 1-0 straight from kick-off, and the guy quits on me. But it is what it is. We do have some weird games where the scoreline is even, like 2-2, then suddenly out of nowhere I'll go and win 5-2. It's pretty decent, it's pretty good. You can kind of see where your opponents are going at this point in time. They're leaving 2-3 players forward, just hitting that long through ball to them and hoping they can catch up that way. But this formation with the 2 DMs sitting in that position, sitting in that halfway line, protecting the back 4, kind of means it's very difficult for the players or for your opponent to play that type of ball anymore, that long through ball. So yeah, they kind of have to skill it around you, or you have to kind of make a mistake for them to get around you. So which is pretty good. So as you can see, we're 2-0 up. We do end up conceding 2 goals, like I say. So we're 2-2, but again, you've got to persevere with the formations. I've had a lot of people saying it doesn't work. You have to persevere with the formations. You have to give them more than 1 game, because you have to kind of find your own way on how these formations work for you and the players that work for you in the correct positions. So sometimes I find that if I switch out my cams for wingers at half time, I tend to play a little bit better. And that is the added bonus of this type of formation. So yeah, you start off with your 2 cams, and then if you've got wingers on the bench, by the time they come on the pitch, your opponent's defence is stammered out anyway, so you can get that advantage and do it that way. So that's what we did. It is 5-2, and I'm going to show you what card I chose for build my TOTS. Yeah, the best player I thought to try or to evo on Build Your Tots was, Marcel Desailly. So yeah, getting to a 94 rated, plus with the other traits, he'll have 99 physicality. Um, yeah, he'll have, I can't remember what else I chose for him now, without going through all this. Yeah, bruiser, intercept, total physicality. So yeah, he's going to be an absolute beast of a card by the time I'm finished with him. So yeah, that's the player I've decided to do. Yeah, we scored. You can see we scored a lot of goals, a hell of a lot of goals, and using players that we haven't used that often. And that is one of the things that I love about these challenges, because you get to use players you don't often use. Anyway, let me say I've got this set up. Fullback, both fullbacks are unbalanced. Defenders, goalkeeper are left alone. You're more, should we say, you're more defensive-minded midfield player, deep line playmaker, defend. You're more ball-to-ball type of player, holding and roaming. This is where it gets interesting. Now, Marcus Leonardo has better shooting than and better agility and stuff like that, and better composure than Al Salem. So, depending on how or what players you use in this position, the better midfielder, the better attacking midfielder, shadow striker and attack. The not so great attacking midfielder, playmaker and balance, both strikers on advanced forward. And then when you kind of look at it this way, you can see it is a 4-2-2-2, which is what we've set it up to. However, it plays more like a 4-2-1-3. With the added bonus that this guy is always going to be making his runs in behind. He's always going to be trying to get in front of his strikers, in front of his marker, which kind of leaves these three doing their own thing, and then this guy can kind of sneak in, play the ball around, and do what he has to do. So that is why I'm scoring a lot of goals with this formation. So bear that in mind. It is very specific to the two cams. You do need to have specific cams in a specific position. So let me just repeat that. Your better cam, have an advanced striker. So yeah, your better cam, have on shadow striker. Your not so great cam, have on balanced and playmaker. It just makes life easier because you know this guy's going to score you bags and bags of goals along with the two strikers. But as you could see in the gameplay clips, if you've watched it, we just scored so many goals, it's ridiculous. There's the code. Fill your boots with this one, guys. Hit that like button if you like. See, subscribe if you haven't already. That would be amazing if you could do that. And until next video, everybody take care and look after themselves.